you know, fantasy about zombies and stuff and the world just going for What's going on today, guys? So when I was younger, I really had this great, fantasy about zombies and stuff and the world just going for dive, and I'd have to bug out and carry all my gear with me and then live in the woods or live somewhere else, and I'd kind of be out living in the shelters, making my way around, hunting my own food, getting my own water. But now I'm older, and that just isn't appealing anymore. So I want to bug in, if at all possible. So when you're bugging in, you definitely want something nicer than this. You want your house, you want some property. Well, what are you going to look for when you look for property? What are you going to look for in your house? Well, you definitely want to be able to provide your own food, your own shelter, your own water. Security is another feature for a property. If it has built-in features already into the property, say a big river, a lake, or even something like a cliff, that surrounds the property, that makes it even more inaccessible for people who you may not want to come to your property. So if you're going to look at a property, why not stop by and say hi to the neighbors? Tell them you're interested in that property next door. Check them out, see how friendly they are. You might end up making a path over to them, and that will provide you your basically outer perimeter for security. Being able to find something, I'd say between 1 acre and 5 acres, is kind of ideal for having and growing your own food for, say, a family of 5. If you can't get more acreage and you can afford more acreage, so be it, all the better. Gives you more room to be able to have gardens, have bigger animals, have wood for not only firewood, but supplies for building as well. If there's established trails through the property as well, that's also a benefit for you to be able to walk around easier and find your way around. Having a backyard like this is nice, but to do anything with it, to garden or to have animals, you need to take down a wee bit and make it a bit clear. Having some of your property with trees on it is great if you're also surrounded by trees and out in the country, because it attracts wildlife, rabbits, deer, so you can actually hunt as well. But having some of that land cleared for bigger animals, say if you're getting goats or cows, it allows you to establish pastures to be able to feed your animals. Now you can clear your own pasture. That's a great option as well, because it gives you the wood for not only building your fence around your pasture, but also gives you wood for building shelters or milling for building decks, building greenhouses, or other things such as that. Having a cleared area on your land as well is also great for establishing food plots for deer. Water is something we all need. So if you can find a property that has a stream, a lake, even a big pond, or in our case, an underground stream that runs through the property, well, that's a big benefit as well. So when looking for a property too, there's some things that I'd recommend avoiding. Train tracks. Trains derail. It's a fact of life. And if they derail near you and they're carrying some sort of toxic substance, chances are you're going to get evicted. You don't want to be evicted in the middle of the night when a train derails, because then you're bugging out instead of bugging in. in a case of something like forest fires, which happen all the time, do you have a break between the forest and where your house is? Because that really helps. The other option is to build basically a green zone. Now, it probably won't help with all forest fires, but it will help with brush fires and other stuff, where you've built an area of trees and grass and land that basically stays shaded, stays moist, maybe has a pond or a stream or something else, maybe a wetland, something to try and help break that barrier between the forest and your accommodations. So on the property you're looking for too, you want space to be able to grow your own food, raise your own food, as in meat, but also there's also the possibility of foraging for your own food. Finding a property that's overgrown with blueberries or other types of berries or anything else that you can forage for food. When looking for a property where you might want to have pigs or cows or chickens or bees or rabbits, you want to make sure as well that the zoning permits it from the municipality, because if not, then they might shut you down before you even get started. So one of the other things to look at when you're buying a property is power. Do you plan to be on the grid, off the grid, a combination of both? Or can you come up with your own source of power? Say for example, you find an old farm that has a windmill that still has a manual pump for the well. So you don't have to charge batteries. All you have to do is keep that windmill oiled up and in running condition, and it'll pump your water for you. What about a stream? Can you set up a little mini hydro dam, a little turbine in the water to be able to run a ram pump or produce some electricity for you in that regard? What other options does that property have to be able to give you some power back? How's the soil on the property you're looking at? Is it good? Is it bad? Loss of soil can be amended though. But if you're going to amend that soil, how close is town? Can you get into town to get some compost? Is there a greenhouse facility around where you can not only get compost or triple mix dirt, that sort of thing, but you can also buy plants and fruit trees and flowers and stuff that you might need for your property? So sure, there might be a time when I need to jump in the truck and go, get out of Dodge, but most of the time it's going to be staying put. So you want your property, your house, your home to be able to provide everything you want it to provide in case of floods, fires, tornadoes, ice or snowstorms, train derailments, car accidents, sinkholes, landslides, anything that could take out the power or block your way into town, or maybe even take out one of the town buildings like the grocery store, something that'll disrupt the food or water supply. I mean, we're not talking zombies here. You know, it's fun to fantasize about and all that sort of thing. There's much more probability of natural disasters that could strike and impact your ability to get the necessities you need. So guys, I hope this gave you some ideas of what to look for when you're going out to buy a property, to basically get out of the city, become more self-reliant, more self-sufficient, be able to be more prepared for things that might go wrong in the future. So make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, hit the little dingly bell to get notifications, hit that like, leave a comment if there's anything else you think people should be looking for when they're buying their first property to be more self-reliant. All right, thanks again guys, we'll talk to you soon. Love ya.